Welcome to the Lancashire Lad podcast. Okay, welcome to a very special episode of the Lancashire Lad podcast. Recently, I was contacted by a young man from Greater Manchester called Chris, who has asked if we could put together a bit of a podcast regarding a very special event that is being organised as we speak and will hopefully turn into an annual thing that will attract thousands of people to the event and, of course, be able to access it during looking online, catching up on what the updates are. And, of course, what's even better about that is it's for two great causes as well. So, hope you enjoy the show. We're going to go straight to Chris and ask him about what it's all about, what his idea is, what made him do it, and where he wants to take it. So, Chris, tell us all about the ATHERTON Charity Shield.
Thanks, Stuart. No, what it was, when mid-February, I think it was, I was on furlough from work. University studies were all online, and I had no reason to leave the house. And I thought I need a project to keep myself busy, and motivated, occupied, and stuff. So I just genuinely thought, right, what I'll do is I'll get all the lads together for a drink. And how can I do that? So I thought I'll organise a football tournament. And then I made contact with 4 teams, and it was yeah, we're interested. Then I made contact with the venue, and they were yeah, look, we'll support it, etc. Then it was someone, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, that said, why don't you tie it in with a charity? So after that, I've got a friend that works at Sky Sports, and he was like, look, you want to speak to my producer about this and see if they've got any interest? So I did. And he was like, look, mate, he said, I'd love to support it, etc. He said, but to be honest, you've got to go away and do A to B to Z, really. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll go away and I'll do that then. I think one of the first things that he said was, you need to get somebody big behind it. So the first thing I did was I sent a tweet to Andy Burnham, and he replied to me the same within the first 5 minutes. So then we started messaging each other, and he was like, look, I'll play, I'll get involved, I'll support it. So I was like, all right, okay. Then I spoke to a few other people, and it grew from 4 teams to 8 teams. So I went back to Sky Sports, and he was like, all right, okay, we'll go away and do this, this, and this then. So I said, all right, okay. So then I just started mithering people, literally just mithering people to the point where they couldn't say no. And then, like I said, with Sky Sports, we then became fully involved. They were like, look, we love the idea. It's a feel-good story, given everything that's been going on in the world. And we'd love to get behind it. So after that, things just started growing and growing. And then I put a post on social media saying, does anybody do logos? Because I needed a logo for it. And that's how I met Richard. I mean, I knew of him beforehand, but I met him obviously because he did the logo for me. And then on the back of that, he was like, well, I can get involved because I've got a marketing business, blah, 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 blah. So then obviously we just hit it off really. And after that, Richard obviously came in, set up the social media, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter. Yeah. And then we reached out to Mark, obviously we were speaking to after, about raising funds for his daughter's fundraiser, which is Holly's Bloom Journey. And it just sort of grew exponentially then, with the knowledge that Richard's got and the contacts that Richard's got. And obviously me mithering people, it just kept growing and growing and growing. So we've now speaking with My Protein, Andy Burnham's obviously playing it, as I've mentioned. Yeah. DNMA Sports Management, which is Marcus Rashford's management agency. Rio Ferdinand's Foundation. What else have we got? Adidas have contacted me. Wow. Can I just jump in 1 second? Because for something like this, I mean, I'm 38 and obviously I've been, football's a passion of mine and things like that. To have these names and foundations interested from the start, it must be incredibly positive, the feeling you get through, because this sounds like it could be really, really big. Everyone says this to me, oh, you should be so proud of yourself for that. But I'm sort of not apprehensive, but I'm realistic about it, because obviously there's a lot to do yet. and obviously a lot could go wrong in the meantime. So until that first Friday, to the first ball gets kicked on the Friday night, that's when I'll be excited.
I feel you.
Because I know there's still a lot of legwork to put in terms of behind the scenes and stuff and whatever else we've got going on. I just feel like at the moment, I'm just taking each day at a time, each step at a time, one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
But no, we've, like I said, we put a call out for sponsorship, and then a lad that myself and Richard know, Sam Shepherd, owns a company called Tubs and Taps Limited, and he was like, look, I want to sponsor the entire thing.
Better free advertising there for Tubs and Taps.
Yeah, I know. I have to get it in though, don't I? You know what it's like. So, well, I'm trying to think what else we've got. Oh, yeah, so like Mitre, they've donated, I think, the 20 balls. Anyway, I said this to Adidas before on the phone. When I speak to these big companies, they're like, look, what do you want? And I don't know what to say me because it's the first time I've like dealt with a big company. Yeah. So she was like, look, we'll give you these Delta Max EFL standard footballs. And I was like, all right, okay. So I Googled them. And they're like 120 quid a ball. So I was like, really? All right. I said, yeah, she went, I said, it's 5 too much. She went, don't be silly, I can give you 20. So she sent me 20 of these footballs.
So what's Mitre said?
So, well, we had a meeting with Mitre the other day, didn't we, Richard? I mean, Richard will back me up on this one, but there used to be a tournament that took place in Manchester every year. And it was like a very well-known tournament that took place. And we've had a chat with them about obviously making this that, or like a bigger version of that. Because, I mean, I know Richard has turned away teams from Spain to play in our tournament. I've turned teams away from London. I've turned teams away from Yorkshire. I've turned teams away from Wales as well. And I keep getting messages every day saying, look, can we play in your tournament? So it's just grown beyond what initially first started off as a kickabout, has just grown and grown and grown.
Yeah, it sounds really exciting. Rich, would you like to come in and tell us why you wanted to get involved and obviously what you're bringing to the table and what your expectations are?
Yeah, well, this is the first year in a long time that I've not played football. I've retired every year for the last 10 years, but just keep getting sucked back in. Whenever they needed a water boy or someone just to fill the net, I tend to get drafted in. So yeah, so yeah, like Chris said, he got in contact with us to do some branding work and some logos. And I've just got a new set of crayons, so I thought, why not? Would help out.
Crayon.
Oh yeah, only the best. Yeah. And we basically got stuck into this. It was one of those things that I have a marketing agency myself, and I can smell a good idea, and Chris's passion for it. I think he employs the same tactic for pesting companies as he does pesting women. So he just seems to be relentless until they say yeah.
Right.
So, but he's done a great job though. To be fair, every single person that he's spoken to, he's just straight down the line, Chris. Everything that he says is honest and from the heart. And when I found out about Holly's Bloom's journey as well, and knowing Mark or knowing of Mark from being in the football sort of circuit around our area, I was just sold on it. I just wanted to get involved.
Oh, fantastic. So I think we should bring in Mark at this point. Now, obviously, Mark, this is a great idea that's obviously going to help you and your family, especially your daughter. Obviously, it's very upsetting, I guess, what's going on. So tell us exactly what you know about your daughter and some of the struggles that's happening at the minute, and you know what this has meant to you.
Yeah. So my daughter's 4, Holly. She got diagnosed with Bloom syndrome last March, a week before the global pandemic. So that was a shock. We didn't know. Nobody's heard of Bloom syndrome. It's an extremely rare genetic condition where there's less than 300 people in the world registered with it. So with Bloom syndrome, you're at greater risk of developing cancers at an early age. So that was the bombshell last March. And then 3 months later, she was showing some symptoms. So we took her into hospital, and then she got diagnosed with a Wilms tumour, which is a rare kidney cancer. So dealing with that, she was 3 at the time, you know, a 3-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
You know, heartbreaking. We were just coming to terms with the Bloom syndrome, and then we got hit with the kidney cancer.
Double whammy, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we've joined different forums, and we're members now of the Bloom Syndrome Association, which is a very close-knit community group with people around the world. And they have a conference seminar every 2 years in Chicago, where we call them Bloomies, so all the Bloomies meet up and they share their experiences and give tips and life skills, and doctors, scientists, researchers who attend the event. So we set up a fundraiser to raise a bit of money to send Holly over to Chicago. Initially, it was just I think it was set at £500, which my friend set up just to get flights.
Yeah,
and we're well over 19,000-20,000 now.
Wow, that's amazing.
You can do a bit more with it. And then it was a few months ago, Chris got in touch and said he'd like to support us with the tournament. And I'll be honest, I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know, you know, what it was going to be like. And each week he's messaged me saying, "Oh, I've spoke to this person." I'm like,
more updates, but yeah,
telling lies, he's a blagger. And then, you know, the more I've got to know Chris more personally over the last few weeks, months, it's, you know, it's heartwarming that people like Chris and Rich supporting us as a family, and, you know, and we can do more, you know, more for awareness of Bloom syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely. You know something? When Chris contacted me, I've over the years I've worked with so many different charities with me singing and performing, and I've never come across that condition before. So, you know, it was something I looked into, and I was, you know, I'd never heard of it, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that will watch this podcast will, when it finishes, they'll go and Google this condition, because obviously it is, you know, what we call under the radar when you compare to the other mainstream illnesses that you hear about quite often.
Yeah.
So is it going to be a day when you and the family are going to go down and enjoy the whole, well, not the day, the weekend? That's something it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
So are you going to be down there at the weekend enjoying everything?
Yeah, so Holly's still undergoing chemotherapy. She had a kidney removed last August, and then she got put on a 34-week chemotherapy plan, which we're still doing at the moment. So as long as she's well enough, she'll be going down. I think Chris and Richard said she can walk the football on and put it down in the centre circle. And I manage a football team, so I'll be in the dugouts at the tournament as well.
Oh, fantastic. Honestly, I get a really good feel from this. It seems like, you know, you've all come together and it's really seems to work from every angle, which is great. So, Chris, tell me a bit more about the actual competition. Is it 11 aside, 5 aside? What's the layout of it?
Yeah, so it's 11 aside. So as I was saying before, we got up to 8 teams, and then we went to 12 teams, and it was 2 days. But I was literally being asked by, I think there was 4 or 5 teams that were asking me could they join the tournament in the local area. So we ended up securing the venue, and I spoke to the venue. I said, look, I've got the capacity to make it 16 teams, but I'll have to move it to like a Friday night start then. They were like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So 16 teams. Then you have to get it authorised and sanctioned by Lancashire FA, who've been great in supporting it. They've waived all fees in terms of insurance and stuff, and set up fees and costs.
Right.
Because it's obviously for charity. So the rules of the tournament will be, you can register as many players as you want per team.
Okay.
They have to be registered. The teams have to be affiliated with an FA. So we've got teams like coming from Manchester FA.
Yeah.
But as long as they've got affiliation, it's fine. But each team can register as many registered players for the tournament. So it's like 16 teams, 11 aside, 4 groups of 4 with 30-minute matches. So there'll be 6 matches per group. So like the Friday night, we'll start at 5 o'clock and we'll play through till I think it's 8 or 9. And then we've got live music after. Then Saturday, we'll start 9 till, that's it, 3 hours. That's it. 9 till 12 on the Saturday with an hour of live music. Then 2 till 5, same again, live music, 5 till 6. Then 6 to 9 Saturday, or whatever it is. I can't remember what I'm trying to work out the times. I've never been good at maths.
It's okay, mate. Don't worry. We get the gist.
They're like 3 hour slots of football, then live music in between. And then on the Sunday, the quarterfinals, the top 2 from each group will progress to the Sunday. So the quarterfinals will start at 9 o'clock in the morning, which will be 30 minutes again. Then the semi-finals will be 30 minutes, and the final is going to be an hour.
Right. Okay.
But the plan is to there'll be no extra time. So it's just if it's 0-0, it's 0-0. And
right.
If we do have a tie in the group, it'll be like a penalty shootout.
Yeah, it's more entertaining, that, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I say, quick. I think people would lose interest if there were 90-minute football matches. People would, and I think because it's a different style of football, different type of football.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot more interest in it.
No,
so
absolutely.
I mean, I go out obviously for drinks and stuff at the weekend, and people are like, "How's it going to work? How's it going to work? How's it going to work?" So people are interested in it, and when I do tell them, they're like, "Oh, it's good. That's a bit something different." So they're looking forward to it. Like I say, I've just been watching one of the teams that are playing it, and all the people were like, "Oh, you're organising that thing, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, it's really good. That's really good. We're looking forward to it." And I think a lot of the teams have bought into the idea. They're going to do their own thing, like their own donations and stuff as well.
Right.
So
okay.
Everyone's like really bought into it. But another thing that we're doing, which I didn't mention before, was like all the teams that are in it are doing a food drive as well. So, and all people that come watching it who buy a ticket will have to do a voluntary food donation. So on the day, or the 3 days, FareShare will be there with a van to take away, obviously, the food that's donated. So it's like registered as a temporary food bank. So people can just come and obviously drop it off there over the weekend.
Yeah, Chris, we keep losing your voice a little bit. Do you want to come a bit closer?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. You just keep going a bit dull on me. I don't know if it went dull on anyone else. Yeah, that's all right.
He's always dull.
Just want to make... I was listening to him talk about that format then, and I'm thinking, it's bloody Chris behind that Super League.
Yeah. There's not many... There's not many teams playing in this tournament that can get in that Super League. Trust me, mate. Trust me.
I tell you what, it sounds really great because I've seen loads of football competitions over the years, but they're all 5-a-side, 6-a-side. This is a really good concept you've got, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to coming and have a look. At what you're doing. You just mentioned then, is it a food bank you're working with or something along them lines?
Yeah. So the other charity that we're doing it for is FareShare, which obviously Marcus Rashford campaigned with during the lockdown. So I contacted FareShare Greater Manchester about doing it for them, and they were like, "Yeah, absolutely," and they've been really supportive as well. So, like I said, the plan is all the teams that are playing it will do a food donation as a team. So there's going to be like a large amount of food that's there. So FareShare are going to be there over the course of the weekend, just taking food back to the distribution centre to give it to like food banks in the area. So that's another concept that we've come up with as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So people, I mean, even like people who aren't coming to watch the football can come just to donate food there over the weekend.
Yeah. Will there be other things going on there on the day? Will there be bouncy castles maybe for kids or? Yeah. And like.
I'll let Richard can answer that because Richard's sort of organised a lot of that.
Okay, Rich, fire away. Tell us what's going on there. So basically what I'm trying to say is there's a family looking at this event and they've got 2 young kids. One's old enough to watch the football, one's maybe not. What can they get out of coming to this weekend of football?
Well, it's been designed so the way that we've put it together is so that the whole family can come. So dad and older lad can come and watch the football, whereas mum and maybe daughter can go to. We're going to have pop-up stalls there selling bits and pieces. We've got Luby Lou, the clown, who's quite well known in the Northwest. She's done a lot of work with Manchester Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
As Chris said before, we've got live music. We've got bands. We've got DJs. We've got loads of stuff going on. We're in the process of speaking to the ATHERTON Centre, who are based up in Chorley. They're in the throes of potentially donating a climbing wall for the day.
Oh, brilliant.
So we've got loads of stuff activity-wise. I don't think anyone's going to be bored. If football's not your thing, there'll be loads of other stuff going on. So
it sounds great. And what the great thing about it is if someone comes on a Friday night and that was their plan and they enjoy it, it's not like they have to wait to next year. They can come back the next day or on the Sunday. And there'll be some people that can't attend a certain day and would have gone, oh, well, I would have gone, but I can't. But now they can, because there's an option to go on either day, isn't there?
Yeah, and we've tried to make this as all singing and dancing as we can for obviously within the bounds of restrictions, because there still are going to be restrictions kicking around on the day.
I don't think there is actually, no, because
it's after the 22nd of June, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, there's by restrictions, probably not restrictions. What I'm kind of alluding to is that people will still be quite cautious on large gatherings, and I think, especially families, there's going to be families that aren't going to want to mingle with people who are travelling from other areas, because all the football teams aren't from the Atherton area. We've got teams coming from Oldham, from other side of Greater Manchester, so there are going to be quite a few people mingling. But we've taken into account all the safety measures, at the risk of sounding like Keith Lard, we've put all these safety measures in place, and there's going to be loads of people walking around with high vises on, making sure there's no unnecessary mingling or
I don't get what you mean.
So but I think this is a litmus test. I mean, we know that this will be a success based on the passion that we've got for it and how much good feedback we've had. But with all of these brands and big names getting on board, there's no reason, as you alluded to at the beginning of the interview, why this couldn't be an annual thing and be bigger and better each year. We want to turn it into almost like a football festival, don't we, Chris? Something that can attract families from all over.
Yeah, well, what you've got, and this is, I've been involved in entertainment a lot of years, and what's critical to anything becoming annual is great foundations. And what you guys have got is one of the strongest foundations laid out already to build on. We spoke about Sky Sports before. Chris, going back to you, tell us some of the names that are involved in this. Some of the names that people watching this will have heard of. Tell us a bit more about that.
Wait, I'm trying to think now. In terms of the ex-professional footballers that we've got involved, we're trying to keep it under wraps at the minute. Obviously, who they are.
Just in case you don't turn up.
Do you want to tell us about? Do you want to tell us about the foundations involved then?
Yeah, so like I say, Rio Ferdinand's Foundation is because the whole reason that I set this up as well, before the charities got involved and stuff, it was to just bring together the community. Because like I said, my degree that I'm studying is a sport development degree. So a big part of sport development is sport making change for the community. So I wanted to obviously use football as a tool to make a change in the community. And I know that Rio Ferdinand's Foundation work with a lot of at-risk youth, but there's not a lot of initiatives for at-risk youth around here. So what I've done is I've just made it as a platform for people to come and make themselves known to people in my area what they can do.
Yeah.
But like what's available to people and stuff like that. So Rio Ferdinand's Foundation said we don't have any initiatives in Wigan or the Wigan area, which Atherton comes under at the moment. So it's a possibility that they could come on the day, speak with another one of the local charities that we've got involved to obviously help boost their profile, and they create a bespoke opportunity for children in our area. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it, bringing people together as like a hub. But like I say, on the back of this, it's just grown and grown and grown. So like I say, I've had local charities saying, look, can you support us? And I've said, yes, I can support you in terms of, not financially, because that's our money's being split evenly between FareShare and obviously College Bloom's journey. But so what I can do is give you a platform to promote yourselves and obviously look at working with other charities together and just making a change. So that was it, really. So
absolutely. I take it all three of you are from Atherton, is that correct?
No.
So
just me.
Just Chris. Chris, tell us about Atherton. What is it? What's special about Atherton? Why should people come?
To be honest,
you sound proud of your area you're from.
The reason why, it's always stuck with me this. I'll never forget it as long as I live. When I was in college, God, how many years ago? 12 years ago, I was reading an article and it was like comic relief time of year. And it said, I don't understand why we send so much money to all these places when we've got poverty in the UK. For example, Atherton, Greater Manchester. And I thought, because I mean, I've been in the position where I've never had, like my mum and dad have provided for me when I was younger, been employed, etc., etc. So you've never had that feeling of being hungry. You know what I mean?
Chris, we're losing your voice again, pal, a little bit.
Sorry. What it is, I've never had that feeling of being hungry throughout childhood, throughout my adult life, etc.
Yeah.
And when I read that, it's always stuck with me because you think it's on your doorstep and you don't even notice it happening. And it is happening, but you're not blind to it. But I think you become conditioned to ignore that it's there.
Yeah.
And when I read that, like I say, it's always stuck with me. But I mean, Atherton, I've got a lot of love for Atherton, do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a very, very close-knit community. Everybody here knows everybody, which is sometimes a pain because you can't get away with anything. But I mean, everyone knows everyone. And I know, like, that an event like this, people will come out to support it. Yeah. But I mean, Atherton itself is very much, it used to be like, there was a factory here, there was a mine, coal mine. So it's one of those places where business used to be thriving and stuff, but since all that industry stopped, it's sort of gone on a decline. So like, there's more pubs and shops, which is great, but like I say, local business is starting to make a comeback and stuff like that. But I think everyone here they're really friendly, do you know what I mean? And it's one of those places where going a night out. I mean, you get trouble wherever you go, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do.
It's got its own share of trouble, but it's a good night out at Atherton, really.
Yeah, but there's what you're doing or potentially doing, and I'll give you an example. So I'm from Morecambe, and over the last couple of years, we've had a TV drama series called The Bay come here, and since that was on TV, the prices in Morecambe, the property prices have gone through the roof. People are flocking here through lockdown and stuff like that.
I can't see my tournament making house prices go up.
Listen. If you're calling this thing, this amazing event, the Atherton Charity Shield, and it becomes on a national level, you're going to do something similar for your hometown, which is amazing. What I'm trying to say to you is, I think what you're doing is fantastic. So don't be too modest and just accept the praise.
I have to, like I said before, I just take it and then I don't try and like let it show, because I think if I start doing that, I'll start getting like ahead of myself. But no, I appreciate what you say.
No, listen, it's great. The whole country needs people in their own areas to stand up and do things, and what you're doing is great. Mark, what's your hope of what this will achieve? So say this got onto an annual thing. What would be your ultimate goal of what this tournament could create for you, your daughter, and of course other sufferers of Bloom's? It's just called Bloom's, is it? Bloom's disease, Bloom
syndrome.
Bloom syndrome. Sorry. So yeah, what are you wanting to see happen, or what would you like to?
So I want to raise as much awareness of the condition as I can, because like I say, it's really, really rare. And then on the flip side of that is to raise as much money as we possibly can, not just for Holly, but for other cancer charities that we've got in mind as well.
Yeah,
that's the aim. And then like long term is to find a cure for Bloom syndrome, because it's incurable at the moment.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. I just wanted to see, because obviously I bet it's a bit overwhelming because obviously when people come out to try and help you and you think, oh, bloody hell, why they, it must be very overwhelming, but also very heart touching at the same time.
Yeah, it's a flippant word to say that, I'm overwhelmed, but I say I'm genuinely, we as a family, we are genuinely overwhelmed with everybody's support. My friends can't wait for this tournament. They're buying tickets. There's going to be a VIP section. It's all going to be done properly. So it'll be good just to have a few beers as well. And it's going to be a great event.
I mean, think about it: football, live music, and beer. What more do you want? What more do you want?
Waiting for it, yeah.
So, Rich, over to you, Rich. What's your ambition with this project then? What your own personal feelings on it? Where do you want to take it as a key member of this team? Where do you want to drive it to?
Yeah, well, I mean, Chris will probably agree with me on this. I'm a business-minded person, and I see this becoming an annual event, but not only an annual event for Atherton, something that can travel, something that can be adapted to infant football, women's football, impaired sports. There's something that can be, I suppose, adapted and expanded into a load of different formats just to get more and more people involved. I mean, like Chris said, and I just want to completely back that up and reiterate it, this was for the community. and yes, it's for the Atherton community, but if we can get teams coming from Spain, which we've had inquiries about, if we can get teams coming from Scotland to Atherton,
Don't let them from Spain; they'll win it.
Well, I might go in as a ringer. I look a little bit Spanish, and then I'll significantly weaken their back line. Trust me.
Yeah.
But I think similarly to what you said before about people coming to Morecambe, if we can just raise a little bit of awareness of the poverties and the troubles that are going on in our own local areas, then the local community will start to come together and back each other, because I think that we've lost a little bit of that over the last few years, haven't we? So Chris is doing a good job of getting people back together, really.
No, it's, like I said, it sounds super exciting, and I hope to have as much involvement as I can, with you guys. And you all seem like lovely lads and whatnot. Is there a location for this, or is that under wraps, or have we got a venue?
No, we've got a venue. I mean, I realised, and I thought I've not said the date of where it is yet.
Yeah, that
so the venue is at Atherton Laburnum Rovers, which is their stadium's called Crilly Park.
Right.
Literally a stone's throw from my house. So on the morning, I can drink on the Friday night, and roll out of bed and be there on the Saturday, and the same on the Sunday. And it's the Friday the 25th to Sunday the 27th of June this year.
Right, that's absolutely fantastic. Let's hope the weather's good for you as well. I mean, you picked a good month, haven't you?
Fingers crossed.
So, Chris, what we'll do is we'll finish up shortly after this question, and the question is, what's your dream for this project? What's the goal?
For the first one to go smoothly, obviously.
What's the end goal? I want the vision.
Oh, Wembley, I think.
Yeah.
I'll be final at Wembley one day. I mean, the thing is, though, like, everyone says to me, don't be daft. But you've got to realise, 2 months ago, the only contact I had was the local football team. And obviously, like, since then, the contacts that I've got now, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll just keep mithering people till I get what I want.
Yeah,
that's worked so far.
I think that's going to be your alias, isn't it? You know, the mitherer.
Yeah. Well, listen, my family will agree with you there, don't we?
Listen, guys, it's been amazing chatting, and I'm so glad that you reached out. It's been a couple of years since I got involved with a charity, or tried to assist in a certain department. I think sometimes you need a bit of a break from delving in and putting your support behind something. But this is something that really attractive to me, and I can see 3 people here that are lovely lads and a really good driving mechanism behind it. And I'll try and support and help you as much as I can. I'm sure we can do another podcast leading up to the actual event, when you can actually reveal more as well, and we'll sort of do teasers, if you will. But thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all the best. Mark, I can only send all my love and prayers that everything works out for you, and of course your daughter. Congratulations on wanting to really make that the blooms, the word spread about, how, because it is unknown, and guys at the bottom, Chris and Rich, I wish you all the best with your organisation of the event. I know how hard it is to do big events, and I'm looking forward to coming along and seeing what you've created. So on this video, we'll make sure to put on the logos and other things so people can see and get to know them. So when they come out on social media more and in the news, they'll recognise it. But guys, thank you very much. And I wish you all the best. And, let's create something special.
Thanks, Stuart.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.